Show! Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Deborah. Deborah Driggs, what are you doing on here? Listen, you were the guest on last week's show. I'm sorry. I've got new guests this week. What are you doing?
Party. No, I'm not. Hey, you didn't get the memo? My people called your people. I'm the new
people
co-host.
call what are you talking? You're what?
This is the Deborah the Wild Child show now, baby. Watch out. Here we go.
The Deborah the Wild. What are you talking about? Hang on a second.
You better check your emails.
Oh, hang on a second. Jimmy, do you know anything about this?
Yeah, I do. We've been talking all week.
It's a conspiracy.
Where the hell have you been?
What the hell?
Yeah. Hello, people. I've been promoting this all week. Where have you been?
Hang on a second. What?
I am now
Deborah Driggs is now your new co-host?
I'm blown away.
Oh my gosh. Deborah, I guess. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited. This is going to be so fun.
And now a man who is the Little League coach of the universe. It's Roger the Wild Child. That doesn't exist, that award.
Let's get this party started! Ready, set, go!
On the air everywhere.
It's the Roger the Wild Child Show! Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Roger the Wild Child, and tonight we are joined by Jimmy.
Oh no! Roger's gone. We're joined by Star and our new co-host, Deborah Driggs.
It's my magical powers. I told you it was the Deborah Show. Star,
Well, welcome.
Star, we did it. See, Star and I have a secret.
Yeah.
The girls are taking over.
It's female power for Mother's Day.
That's it.
Right?
Watch out, boys. New girls in town.
This is going to be pretty awesome because Roger controls the universe to our guests, and he's gone. So,
well, this is called improvising. We get to have some real fun now.
well, I'm going to show you, what a
the
gentleman I am.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask how your Mother's Days. How was your Mother's Day, Deborah?
My Mother's Day was fantastic. Fantastic. It was so great. I just took a drive down to the beach, had brunch with my daughter. I kept it very simple. She kept saying, "Mom, let's take a drive and do this." And I was like, I gotta catch up for the week and check my emails. And so we did this live Instagram video. And she's like, I tried to take my mom down the coast, but she's got to check her emails. That's how busy I am right now. But,
That's
be careful.
awesome.
Is that funny that I said this is the Deborah Show and then we lost Roger? It's like Bewitched.
I do find it absolutely I mean, look, how many times this is all technology, and we all know at any given minute that computers can crash and internets can go down. Trust me, I've been on many a meeting at work during the week where you're just in the middle of a presentation and the internet goes down. It just happens.
Life, man. It's life.
Yeah, it's life. It's the technology world. I mean, it's great.
We got to
but
roll
also,
with it. You
Yeah.
gotta roll with it. So yeah. So
I wiggled my nose so he could come back.
it was like Bewitched. I told you it was my show.
My computer did a complete total reset.
Nice.
Of course, when we're live on the air, right?
Those Windows updates, you're supposed to say schedule at a later time.
But guess what? We had a lot of fun while
We
you were
did.
dealing with that.
We did.
It was all good.
Yeah, it was fun. Don't worry.
Well,
Roger.
now I got to reset these other windows here so I can pull everything
Well, let's
back
find out how
up.
Star's Mother's Day was. How was your Mother's Day, Star?
How was yours?
Oh, it was so fun. My youngest is 5, and I have an 8-year-old, and so I got all the cute little from school, all the cute little handprint cards, and
Nice.
it was adorable. So
Yeah, that's always cute when they do that at school.
I miss those days. Mine are adults.
Oh yeah, it's so.
They're adults.
sweet.
I miss those days.
My wife was just going through
sidewalk chalk all over the sidewalk. We had a blast.
Yeah, my wife was just going through her iPhone, and she was finding all the old videos of our kids, and she was pulling up these videos from 5-6 years ago. And my daughter, who's 10, I mean, when we first moved into this house where we live now, I think we've been here 6 years almost, so she was like 4.5. You have this mental thing in your head like she was always this age when we've lived here, but she wasn't. She was like 5 and just as cute as a button. And just in these videos, I was just like, I looked at my daughter and I said, why do you have to grow up? It's just so like, she was so cute. She had a little lisp and her voice was much younger. And I was just like, oh my gosh, why? Well, Roger, we're done filling for you.
I'm telling you, of course, when you're doing live, right? We are just like, things happen.
We're having fun.
Right.
Anything that's going to go wrong is going to go wrong now. So we got to improvise. Got to be ready.
Exactly. And that's why I got a great co-host team, because we always have each other's back here, right?
Yeah, baby.
We do. I was just worried about our guests if you didn't come back on, because I was thinking Wendy and Beau were stuck in some room like the Matrix and they were never going to be on, and they were going to be like the 3 in Superman the movie, stuck in the thing in the glass panel going, help me. But
I'm very afraid to be here. People are disappearing. They're coming. There's different people that are hosting. What? My God!
Yeah.
Mothership came down, and pulled us all up.
I thought Roger was being Thanos there, and he just went and like, okay, Roger's gone.
Well, let's welcome our first guest. She is an author. She is an actress. She's an anthropologist. Let's see. She's also a podcast host. She's a model. Let's see what
boss lady.
Yeah, boss lady.
Total boss lady.
Boss lady. Documentary filmmaker, stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
and promoter. Mom.
Okay.
4 animals, a cockatoo, 2 rabbits, a chihuahua, and a human child.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
There you go. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Awesome.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Welcome Wendy Stuart to the show, everyone.
Yeah.
Hello, Wendy.
I love this show. It's a wild and crazy show. It looks like anything can happen at any time to anybody.
Literally. I'm doing my open and my computer shuts down on me.
I was so scared, Roger. It's like my first time here, and like you disappeared. Well, it was like a poltergeist, just like went, and then Roger just like evaporated into the atmosphere.
Carry on, come to the light. Wow.
Oh my God.
But it's good to be here with everybody tonight. I don't even know where y'all are in the country. I am, as you probably know, from New York City, but I am broadcasting to you from Milford, Pennsylvania tonight.
Oh,
I'm in Boise, Idaho.
Boise, okay.
Los Angeles.
LA, you said beach. I thought so. Jimmy, where are you?
I am in Chicago, Illinois.
And Star?
I'm with Roger right here in Boise.
So you're in Boise also. But how great is this, right? The beauty of podcasting. We can all get together from all over the place.
I'm just happy that there's somebody finally in the podcast that's in a time zone later than mine now. So
because Jim keeps like time checking me going, we need to finish this up. I have to go to bed.
Yeah, last week.
Hey, by the way, me too. And I'm in LA. I have to go to bed too.
Well, last week, Deborah, when we had you on as a guest, the interview was so great, obviously, because that's why you're back and a host now. But it was going long, and we had another guest, and I'm texting Roger while you're talking. I'm like, it's almost 10. I got to go to bed.
I'm like, let's make this show an hour and a half. But I have to mention, though, Deborah and Wendy, I'm sorry, but I just want to add this in. we have hit 2,000 views on Facebook from
Woo!
your episode. Yes, applaud,
That's awesome.
applaud.
Fabulous.
So, yes, so that was awesome. Even though we're live on Sunday nights, we replay all throughout the week and we rebroadcast it and everything like that. And of course, I use my magic fingers and, kind of promote out there. And I have to say, we're getting a lot of viewers in England. I was like blown away that most of our viewership is coming from the UK.
I love it. You know why? Because you're very Monty Python on this show.
Yes.
That's why. Very Monty Python-esque.
Bring out your dead.
Yeah.
Bring out your. Oh no, you mean other Monty Python movies? Sorry.
Well, then maybe we should use our British accents.
That's
tonight.
right. Oh,
Don't
yeah.
you think?
Right?
It'd be lovely?
We'll be
Yeah,
talking
be really
British
nice.
accents tonight.
I try, and then it goes into something else. I don't know. I try a British accent, and then I lose it 2 seconds in. So
It's
now.
okay. We're not judging you, Jimmy.
Oh no, everyone judges me, but I'm okay.
So let's
I'll
talk
judge you,
about
mate.
when.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's get to our beautiful guest, Wendy.
Thank you.
So, Wendy, you're an author. You got a new book, or is it out now or coming out? It's called She's the Last Model Standing.
Yes, it's available on Amazon, and it's about my life coming to New York and being part of the whole world of Studio 54 and all the
Wow.
celebrities that I met and everything that happened to me after that. But I started modeling around the same time too, and acting. And my book, as I like to say, is a book of inspiration. Anything that could go wrong did go wrong in my career. And it's about picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, okay, and ending up at the top of the heap. And yes, I have done that.
Nice,
What's amazing is that is a theme that we've been hearing from our guests over the past several weeks,
Mhm.
and it's the greatest theme ever. Is that what you just said? Deborah said last week,
Right.
almost word for word, and that's how you should live. I
That's
admire that.
You get it. Like you're the guy that just got mushrooms delivered to you, so you get it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, I came to New York. I was turned down by every single model agency. Then I went to Europe. I was turned down by every single model agency there except for one, which I didn't realize. I wasn't turned down by them because they didn't really represent models. They represent working girls. Let's just say it like that. And it's about, coming back to New York, getting my first modeling job, getting my first acting job. Let me tell you, film, I worked my way from the very bottom up. Are any of you familiar with Trauma Productions?
No, I'm not.
I am. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, they're cult films or whatever.
Yes.
Those were my first acting jobs.
Which
And-
movie?
Squeeze Play, about a girls softball team that took over a small town, Waitress.
Okay.
And for Squeeze Play, it was so crazy. We were non-union film. We worked like 12, 13-hour days. They didn't feed you either. It would be like bologna sandwiches and Little Debbie cakes. And I thought, God damn, there's nothing glamorous about this at all. And then, of course, the piece de resistance. Why did they call it Squeeze Play? Well, it's about a girls' softball team. But the girls on the team, we spent most of our time competing in wet T-shirt contests.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And the director, Lloyd Kaufman, God bless him, I will never forget these words. Okay, get them together. Hose them down. 2 o'clock in the morning, I swear to you. And I hear hose them down.
Yeah,
So-
they're still making films. They
Is
still
it
make
right?
films.
And
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that because, again, we're talking about inspiration. We're talking about surviving, making it to where you want to go. Look at Trauma Productions. They're still
Yep.
making films. They have huge cult following. And I only have the best things to say about it. But of course, nobody wants to stay on that level. And
Right.
in my book, I talk about my career as a model, getting my first clients, I'm in an area of modeling now. Well, I do a lot of print work, but I'm also in an area of modeling called fit modeling. Now, I bet nobody here tonight knows what that is.
What? I was
That I
just
don't
about
know.
to ask you.
I
What is
think I
fit
might.
modeling?
Yeah, Deborah, what was that?
I think I might. Is it where you go to the? Is it
Tell me
where
what
you?
you think it is? I love
I
it.
think. Well, I think it's when you go to the showroom and you are the model for when they want a size clothes or have you try on for people that are the when the buyers come.
So, okay, so you are the closest that anyone's ever been. And you know what? That's why you're back on this show tonight. That's
Because
exactly.
I got a ring.
You got a ring. Round of applause for Deborah's ring. But yes, she's very close to it. But it's not really as modelly as you described it. I really work with designers and pattern makers by giving them my feedback. We get clothing made that was modeled on a 16-year-old girl in a size 2. And then I have to kind of take and make it fit like you and me. You know, average women. I'm not calling anybody here average. I'm just saying, you know, not these like things that are emaciated on the runway. I have to make sure that if the JCPenney or Ralph Lauren or any of those brands come in, I make their clothes fit so their customers buy them. And I am the perfect size 8.
There you go.
Perfect. I love
He's impressed.
So I do want to talk to you about, I know that you've been dealing with the wildlife and the animals. And so tell us a little bit about your anthropology and all that stuff.
Yeah, of course. Well, here I'm on the Roger the Wild Child show because it's Wendy who deals with wildlife on your show. So the word wild has brought us together tonight. My God, that is a kumbaya moment. Hold on, Roger. Okay.
Okay.
So I started making documentary films with my husband after I had auditioned for Animal Planet for Ms. Adventure, which she was a girl that went everywhere and had all kinds of really cool adventures in the Amazon or with indigenous people, and a girl that could survive in the jungle. Well, I didn't get the job. And that really, really teed me off. And I thought, why? I even doing this, I can do this myself. My husband is a great photographer and I've been on camera for forever. So one of the first jobs that we created for me it's a film called Fragile Beauty. And that was before the wildlife, but I went to Ethiopia and I went and lived with 3 tribes and showed their culture and how different they are from us and how they're people. You guys can't believe this, but there's still people in the world living the way they have for 100 and 200 years. They dress traditionally. Yep. They paint their bodies. Our tattooing, our inking is nothing compared to what they can do with clay and the intricate designs that they draw. And I wanted to make a film about it. So it's called Fragile Beauty. And it was about the Mercy people. Those are the people you've seen with clay plates in their mouth. They have and their lip really hangs down. The Mercy.
Does it really?
Oh, this is all real, right?
Oh, okay.
No, but it's good, Roger, that you're asking, because when I tell people this, they're like, well, did they just like dress up like that for you? I'm like, no, this is the point, right? That like here we all are, and they're there, right? Parallel universes. They don't even use currency. They pay for things with cattle. It's quite incredible. And the artwork that they do on themselves, the way they dress using animal skins. You know, you have to remember when somebody like that hunts, they eat the animal. It's functional. And they use the skins. They use dried flowers. They embellish themselves. It's just unbelievable. So I wanted to tell their story. And I went there to show the fashion and the beauty of the people. But like so many times, you set out as a filmmaker to do one thing. And the worst thing to me, any filmmaker can do, don't stay on the script, because you don't know what you're going to find when you get there.
Right. That's just like this show. We don't stay on a script.
What script?
You didn't even know. You didn't even know you had a new co-host.
Like
I didn't. I never read the email.
The show is starting, and I'm like, okay, you know, maybe he had to like run an errands or something. So I felt I was in good hands though with everybody else here, so I was down with it. I was pretty cool with it.
You know what, Wendy? There was a split second there, me being the ass that I am. In my head, I was like, okay, he dropped off. Do I help? Or do I let's star in Deborah? Let's see what they got.
Yeah, because you're the ones left standing. So you know what? You got to make it work, right?
Right.
Roger came back to us. So that was the first film I did in Africa. And then that was followed up by Whispers and Witnesses, Wildlife Rescue in Cameroon. Cameroon is a small country filled with gorillas and chimpanzees. But like so many places in Africa, they have a bad poaching problem.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you all have heard about that.
Yep.
So there were two women that were running what they called rescue centers there, where the baby gorilla or chimpanzee was brought to them. Once the gorilla or chimpanzee has been raised by a person for a year, then they have them assimilate into a family. But to get them into the family, this is like the coolest stuff in the world, you guys. It's like foster care. They can't release them into the jungle because they'll be killed again. And these families that they have are kept in 4-acre enclosures. That's a lot of room. So they can go on, doing their gorilla or chimpanzee life, right? Living their best gorilla or chimpanzee life. And they're
Nice.
because they're part of a rescue center. But I learned so much about primates from that. It would totally blow you away. They share 97% of our DNA. They're so smart. And when you see them up close and you see the resemblance, it's absolutely mind-blowing. And
Wendy, did you get a chance when you were there? Did you go and do that thing in Rwanda with the gorillas? Did you do that
that's
as
a
well?
totally different thing. I haven't done that. The thing with that and where I'm at, unless I can come in as a filmmaker, I don't want to be around, any tourists. And that thing is great where they track the gorillas and everything. But for me to do that, I would want to be able to be by myself with a tracker and, be able to spend the hours I need. I think the way it works, and you know about this, you get a permit and you're allowed an hour. The way we did it, we were allowed endless amounts of hours with the gorillas and chimpanzees. Although I have to tell you this, there were some of the female gorillas, I was not their cup of tea. We think it was the blonde hair. I don't know. But there was like really bizarre noise making and chest beating. And
Wow.
That's so interesting.
It was so interesting. One of the trackers that was there said, you better stand back. He had a name. I forgot her name. Zababi doesn't like you. I'm like, why doesn't she like me? I never did anything to her.
Wendy, I do have your video queued up about Thailand, the Thailand one. Can you tell us a little bit about your Thailand video?
The video that you probably pulled is me with the indigenous people there. I believe it was the Red Zao, and they were all trying to sell me stuff, right?
Okay.
and like everything was, I think everything was like 100,000 baht or 50 baht. No matter what I looked at, it was the same price. These women are hardcore. There is no bargaining with them. And they have no room on price. And then the worst part is if you're trekking through there, they will just join you. They're unrelentless. These are hardcore sellers, okay? Any sales company that's listening right there, hire these indigenous women. They don't give up until they make the sale. They wear you down. They will try.
I understand that.
You get that.
All right, so let's go check out this video, guys. Here we go.
Are some of the smartest animals in the world, but they are sometimes misused
for
the work or the tourist industry. But there are some sanctuaries trying to protect them. So off I went to Elephant Stay in Arataya, Thailand.
It won't record because it's a dirty video head.
I am riding an elephant for the first time in Thailand. It's terrifying. Whoa! Bring this one over. Welcome to Elephant Stay. I'm in Arataya, Thailand. It is an elephant refuge. They have over 90 elephants here. That's a lot of elephants, and 200 volunteers to take care of them.
It's not just about you learning to ride an elephant. It's about you learning about elephants, about the history, the culture of the elephant.
Many of these elephants have been abandoned. They were abused, or maybe they just got old, but they no longer had a purpose.
Because of our breeding program, rehabilitating killer elephants, making elephant dung paper and fertilizer, creating a sustainable future in a variety of different ways.
Whoa! It's now lunchtime for the elephants. We're feeding them this delicious pineapple, which I'm sure they're just going to love. It's hard work. These guys eat every 2 hours. Now, can you imagine? It's like having a newborn baby every 2 hours. And look at the size of them. How do you keep them full?
Okay.
I'm responsible for the care and feeding of my elephant. Her name is Kissamai, and that means joy and love in Thai. And I'm having a lot of joy, and I really do love her. It's hard work taking care of an elephant. That's all I can say. I'm hot. I'm sweaty. We use a cocktail.
We've got to get another couple of carts to climb up.
No, we don't. Look, they look so well fed. They're happy.
At least 2 carts.
Alrighty then. I am failing elephant school. I just want you to know that. I have no control over my elephant. I'm scared out of my life. About the only thing I'm good at doing is petting the baby elephant.
Oh! Yeah. Ven. Ăn miếng liên quan thăm anh này. Nhiên thì mình nhau. Miếng mình ok.
Okay. All right. I'm telling you, I do not have a knack for this. That was unbelievable. I had to wash her hair in the river. Kissimmee and I have had a fabulous day together. I fed her. I walked her. I took her in the river. I scratched her head. I tried to give her commands. And you know what? This is not for everybody. I am done.
That is so
All
awesome.
right.
Roger, I love that you chose that video. I haven't been to Thailand once. I love that was taken at Elephants Day, where any of you here can go as a volunteer and you get your own elephant. And you get to take care of that elephant for a week, 2 weeks. Some people go for a week and then they end up 2 months later. They're still there. Yeah. It's really, really cool.
They're my favorite animal, elephants. I love them.
Oh, you love it? Oh, my God. You would love to do this. My elephant was named Pissamai. I thought that was, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I was watching that and it took me back to when I was in Bali with my daughter, and there was an elephant park where you would get on these elephants and you'd go like for a ride through a park. But when we finished, and they take you in the water and all of that, and when we finished, I said to my daughter, I don't like this. This reminds me of SeaWorld.
Well, that I was at, and I have to say this, and I always qualify it. I totally agree with you, by the way, but this place was not that. You're a group of volunteers. And
that's what I was going to say, is that I love that idea of rescue and helping and whatever. Ours was more like a theme park, and it just gave me like this really weird feeling. And I've been to Africa several times too, and just, you know, the way they use animals like that. What I just saw, I love that, the volunteer aspect. It's such a cool idea.
I love, Deborah, that you brought this up, because even for where I was volunteering, there are people that are against that. There are people that say the elephant should just be allowed to hang out and not even have the mahout. And for you guys, if you don't know what a mahout is, that is a person, the local Thai person that sleeps with the elephant from the time the elephant's born. It's like a parent, really. But a lot of people believe it's wrong to do that elephants should just be with other elephants. But then, you know, like Roger, you said, I'm an anthropologist. Then you get into the whole thing, like, who are any of us to destroy a culture like that?
Exactly. Yeah.
Thai culture, you know, when you get that elephant and you're given that elephant, that is the greatest honor and such an incredible responsibility. So I love, Deborah, that you know about this, because it's right now, there's a lot of arguments going on. You know, there's two sides to every story.
Absolutely.
But this was so special.
Yeah, they have another place like that in actually my daughter lived in Thailand for a year, she went to a place like that where it was like an adoption thing, and she could volunteer with the elephants because she loves elephants. And so, you know,
oh my God, cool.
Yeah, anything they can do that's not an amusement show.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either. And as I've gotten older, dislike it more and more every time I see it. I think we were at some event, some fair for like Oktoberfest or something, and they had an elephant. And it's like, come ride the elephant. I'm like, no. Like, I just like, I don't feel that's fair. Now, I still enjoy seeing elephants at zoos, but again,
there's something very energetically, karmically wrong about it. I don't know. It's like that movie that's out right now, or it's been out about SeaWorld, the whole documentary called Black
I know the people that made that. That's a really good case in point.
It's really good. Yes.
Yeah,
and that just made me, and it's so funny because I would never take my kids there because I was like, I don't like this show. Like it bothered me that they did that. And then when I saw that documentary, I was like, oh my God, because that's how I felt. I went once with my ex-husband and our kids, and I looked at him, I said, this just doesn't, I'm not into this. Like, it's so weird to me that they make
how he became your ex-husband? He liked it?
He likes SeaWorld.
Awesome, Wendy.
I was out.
SeaWorld, man. Let's kick him to the curb.
Wendy, where can we see these movies? Where can we actually see all of these that you've made? Where are they available?
Totally on my website, which is that's on my website, which is wendystuarttv.com. Okay. And then I have 2 YouTube channels. The one where you can see a lot of my travel videos is on Wendy Stuart on YouTube. Okay. And then my regular YouTube channel that I have developed in the past year, because, my career came to a crashing halt March 12th when they shut New York down. And I've been podcast host, co-host. I've done so much in this past year. This year's been prolific. All of that work is on Wendy Stuart TV on YouTube. Okay. And,
all right, cool. And we'll put the link on the info page here on the podcast as well.
I love it, Wendy.
I don't have to put any link. Like, not technical.
Wendy, what inspired you to go and do these movies, and what was the inspiration that got you there?
I'm going to have my show doing this because I've been doing this for non-for-profits. I'm a non-camera person. That's what I do. I can raise awareness and I can raise money. And that's really been the raising the money for them. I have everything I need in my life. I need to be able to go out there, though, and make these films and make a difference. I want to help people. I want to help animals. And anything that you read about me, even on my website, I'm a humanitarian. And in answer to your question, that's my inspiration behind everything that I do.
What I loved about the video is that you clearly kept saying, it's not for everybody, but you were doing it and you were rocking it, and you were saying it's not for everybody, but you just looked like you enjoyed it, and you, in such a like you said, humanitarian way. You just looked like you cared about it, and I care. Yeah, I definitely want to watch them all. So
there's a lot of compassion when it comes to these animals. You could definitely tell the wildlife is definitely in her blood.
Yep, amazing.
But
amazing
I hope
work.
to get all that out there when people watch these videos. For people that don't know, right? Their awareness is raised. What could be better?
Yeah.
All of us are communicators. What could be better than to give somebody that? It's a good gift.
Awesome.
Now, another thing that you do that you were doing during the pandemic, though, is you came out with a new podcast, or you had your own show, which was Pandemic Cooking. Yeah.
So I developed 3 shows. So I'll start with Pandemic Cooking with Wendy. March 12th, they shut New York down. All my club gigs canceled. Film work canceled. Modeling jobs canceled. Stand-up jobs canceled. Nothing, zero. And
Wendy needed an income.
I needed to do something. And my friends who had desk jobs were like, oh, well, I'm going to be paid to stay and work from home. And I tell you, my doing Pandemic Cooking with Wendy was born of, yes, Roger, I had to work, but I had such rage. I'm like, this is like, entertainers were hung out to dry. We were. I mean, the stories and struggles that a lot of my friends went through that did not have day jobs, that only earned their living from that.
Right.
I never did a podcast in my life until that point. First show I came up with, it's a tape show, Pandemic Cooking with Wendy. March 12th, they shut New York down. March 13th, I stood in the kitchen with my husband, who's a shooter. And I said, what are we going to do? He said, I don't know. And I said, we'll have a cooking show. He said, you don't cook. I said, exactly.
That's awesome.
I'm a performer. Okay, all of those things. What could be better than have someone from New York that, calls in their dinner every night? I swear. True story.
Nice.
I do not cook. Than to start cooking. And that's exactly what I did. My first meal came from a cardboard Fresh Direct box. That's how I
Awesome.
And then I went into doing costumes and characters and taking people on trips on Pandemic Airlines with Pandemic Pan, the flight attendant, and all kinds of things happened on Pandemic Airlines. People were getting high-end bathrooms. I had
That's
to
awesome.
hand customers to the seat. It got wild. And I took you to places. We went to India. We had Indian food, and I was dressed like someone from India. The coolest thing about doing the show, which I now have 112 episodes up for.
Wow.
The coolest thing about it was getting comments from people. My God, I've got COVID. I'm watching your show. You make me feel good. You make me feel not so depressed.
Nice.
In New York, COVID hit really, really bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it did.
Well, yes, it did. Right. And LA, right. Also, then your numbers went up. My husband had COVID. I had COVID. My daughter did too. And I got to tell you, we were all really early on in New York, the middle of March. You would call any of those 800 numbers. Nobody knew what to tell you. You tell them the symptoms and they were like, oh, you don't have COVID.
Wendy, I had it. I was one of the first cases. I had it in December. I got it December 22nd, 2019. I was sick for 3 months.
Wow.
And I just thought I had pneumonia. I thought I had pneumonia really bad. And I kept coughing. I didn't know what it was.
Well, no doctor did then either. But you know what, Deborah? They knew about it then.
Yes, they did.
And none of us were told anything in the world. So that's my other soapbox. Okay. So then, no, because Roger, I'm sure you can tell I'm a fucking loose cannon. I really
Nice.
am.
Hey! Oh, the outside crowd goes nuts.
Yes, he's going to be
I just want to know if our cooking show makes it so you can taste again, because I still haven't got my taste back from COVID. So I'm going, oh, maybe if I watch her cooking show, she'll teach me how to taste.
Wait. Am I to believe, Roger, did you get it?
No, I did not.
Okay, so you and I did not get it. Okay.
Correct.
I'm not getting it.
But you got it. You got COVID and
No, I got COVID, but I'm not getting the vaccine.
Oh yeah, well, unfortunately, I could go on about my experience this past week with the second Moderna shot, but I won't do that.
From both
By the way, they say
I'm
that
traveling.
people who had COVID who get the vaccine, it's much worse. So I have a friend who got the first one and got so sick, he said, "I'm not getting the second dose."
Well,
he
I
had
had both of them, and I had COVID. I lost my smell and taste for 8 months, but I don't see the humor in this. I was doing a cooking show,
right?
This tastes good.
I get to see Wendy making a recipe and saying, "Oh, this is wonderful."
I'd be like tasting it, and so I'm like, "Oh my God, this is good." And then I would, people would make comments and think, I was like, "How was it?" I think people just didn't want to hurt my feelings.
Right. People at home were making with her. They go, "Oh God, this tastes like shit." How is she like?
Elephant tongue.
What is wrong with that? That's hilarious.
Awesome.
Star, what were you saying? I'm sorry. We have mic issues with you this week.
When I cook for others, I have to ask them to season their own food. I just say, "Kate, we'll add whatever it needs because I can't taste it." So.
Wow.
Because you can't taste it, right?
Yeah.
So that was my first show, and then this summer, one of the other things I do, I started an LGBTQ in Pennsylvania, where I am. I throw all of our fun events. Well, there haven't been many fun events to have because we were all in isolation. So I started another show called Triversity Talk, and I bring in people from all over the country, and we discuss any kind of LGBTQ issues. I mean, I've had people from the clergy, Flavio Alves, a filmmaker who did The Garden Left Behind film with all people that were trans. Beautiful film. He came on. 2 dads from LA this story. They got 2 boys in foster care. They get one and then they get a call later. He's got a brother. We got to get him out of the house. And what they went through to adopt both those boys. And yes, they did adopt both those boys. But I try and put on really great, really incredible stories on that show. And then in December, I started thinking, I need to do an entertainment show. And I know a lot of people that know musicians and myself included, writers, and
Mhm.
like, let's do another show. And it's called If These Walls Could Talk. And I film it on location in Manhattan in a restaurant called Pangea, which also has a cabaret room where they've hosted Debbie Harry. So many people that you've
cool.
heard music. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
And I host that show with Tim Moss. And we have a great time. I've had on Leland Sklar, Scott Page from Pink Floyd, Michael Musso, the journalist.
Wow.
This week, I love who I had on this week. If you all remember the Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band Beatles album, they did a movie from that. There was a woman who was cast in it, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Diana Steinberg Olsen, and she was unbelievable. She is dynamite, and she was on this week with me. If you get a chance, you can find it all on Wendy Stuart TV on YouTube. Yes,
check it out.
How fun. Okay, I have a question.
Yeah, of course.
Imagine that.
I want to go back to Studio 54 days because I miss those days. And I want at least one juicy story. Come on.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing.
I have my own juicy story.
Okay.
I got written up. I would stay all night. And by the end of the night, I would shut the club down and I'd be dancing alone. And they would write articles about me. She dances alone. So one night I was there and Andy Warhol came over to me and said, "Oh, I've been watching you. Would you like to join my group?" So, there was a private section. Once you were inside, there was a private section. So I go in with Andy and he starts talking to me about, now you have to understand, you're 21 years old. You don't know anything. And he starts talking to me about a film he was going to be doing with Joe D'Alessandro. And he thought I would be perfect. And Ultraviolet were going to be in there, and I would be really great in this movie. Now, the only film I had ever seen by Andy Warhol at that point was one called Empire, where he put the camera on one person, and had them not talk for like an hour. Okay, so.
Wow.
Right, you can admit
He was so out there.
It was so out there. So he told me about this role in the film, and I said, "Well, how much is it paying?" Because when you're 21 years old, you're trying to figure out how to pay your bills. And I said, "What's it paying?" And he said, "Well, I would give you a painting." And thought about it, and I said, "Right." I'm like, "Oh no, I need to get paid."
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I wonder how much that painting would be worth now,
Oh
though.
my God.
Right?
You had to go there.
I just got sick to my stomach. Oh my God.
It's awful. My other story is about this singer that came one night. I was up in the balcony with my friends, and there was this girl who was like up and coming in New York. I used to see out clubbing all the time. And I'm not going to tell you her name just yet. So they bring her out to the main stage at Studio 54. And I'm in the balcony with my friends. And I'm like, oh my God, she is so tired. And she sang this horrible pop song that I hated called Borderline. And it was Madonna. It was Madonna. She was so tired. Oh my God.
Wow. You hate Borderline? What's wrong with Borderline?
It's because it's like it's sing-songy, it's pop. I like
it is.
I like edgier. Yeah. I like U2.
What's so funny is I just watched the documentary on Madonna that was so good. Just I have to give her credit. How she got into the business is just an amazing story.
Yeah, it is
amazing story. Totally inspiring.
Right. That
is a great story.
Her story, but Madonna, honestly, a force.
Everybody dance and sing. Just happening.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you for singing that one because there are people on this planet that think Madonna started with Like a Virgin, and I'm like, no. How about Burning Up and Everybody? Yeah. How about Jelly? How about her work with Jelly Bean and Sidewalk Talk? This is some freaking jams, and the Madonna you get now is not the Madonna back then. She had.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you something. When I started loving her crossover, which was Ray of Light. That album,
Ray of Light, is a very, very underrated album. It's very good, but yeah. But that was it. Then it was done. Even the music one wasn't great. There were a couple of hits on it.
I liked when she did her sex album. I love when she did the
and she had the whole book out and everything.
Yeah. But I agree with you on Ray of Light that Ray of Light is a type of album. And there were a couple radio hits we beat the hell out of it back in my radio days. But Ray of Light is one of those albums you can just listen to all the way through, and it's got a nice vibe, and it's got a nice.
It takes you on a trip.
Yeah, there's not that poppy, like you said, borderline. It's got a nice. Yeah, I like Ray of Light. I just picked it up on vinyl.
Madonna.
She's voguing. Deborah's voguing for us.
I know, right?
Nice.
Don't even get me started on that.
Well, I'm excited. I'm actually excited to look at your YouTube channels. I'm going to do that tomorrow.
Thank you.
So.
Yes, please, if you can all subscribe too, that would.
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
definitely, for sure. Wendy, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today. Definitely, we'd love to have you back on.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, you're the next co-host.
Everybody's welcome.
That's awesome.
wild.
On the way out.
Fantastic.
Wendy, thanks again for you've been a treat. Thank you very much for being on the show.
You've been
Now,
awesome.
should I wait in the green room?
You can if you want. Yeah.
You can. All right, thank you.
Thank you all. You've all been terrific. Have a great one.
Bye,
All right, thank you, Wendy. Okay.
Wow, amazing.
Wow, she had such the life.
She
I
is
love
amazing.
it.
I seriously,
love
we could
it.
talk to her for hours.
Amazing. She'll be
But
back.
she will be the next co-host.
She'll be the next co-host.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I love when you can, there's somebody that you can talk to for hours. And
Yeah.
she's one of those people that
Of
the
course.
stories are just going to go on and on and on. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Because just like, just pulling up her information, I mean, she's an author. She wrote that book, all her little memoirs there. Also, she's got all these little video projects that we can just
Yeah.
go on and on about each,
Well,
so.
I love talking
And
to
she's
people.
in the water with the elephants. I mean,
Exactly.
Studio 54 to sanctuaries. I'm
Right?
like, I'm in with this.
I love talking to people, and that's why I'm excited to talk to Beau next. Is I love people who, unfortunately, were totally affected by this pandemic, but found things to do to stay relevant. And again, with Wendy, there was no guarantee any of those shows are going to make her any money. She was just like, hey, I'm creative. I got shit to do. Nobody's letting me do it. Thanks to technology, I'm going to do it. And she's did.
Amazing.
And she did it.
Innovation. We love it.
Innovative people.
What's up, guys?
Beau.
Beau is in the house.
I felt bad following Wendy. I didn't want to follow that. I was watching. She was like saving the elephants.
Right.
I was thinking,
Beau, what animal have you saved this week?
Yeah.
Right?
You're next, Beau.
no, I
Top
saved
the elephant.
I've saved nothing. I don't save anything. No, I was like putting myself in her shoes, like being in Thailand and like how quickly I would be like, this is terrible, and just walk off. Like, just no interest in saving any animal. But no, it was cool seeing her ride the elephants. That was they wouldn't let me do that. I think that would hurt the back of the elephant.
Oh, they would definitely not let me do it. Yeah, I would be like. I'd be looked at and I'd be go, no, you're too big. Go away.
Yeah. This is a problem. But I did not know you guys were in Idaho, or you, Roger, in Idaho. I'm actually gonna be in Idaho for the first ever Idaho Comedy Festival on May 20th and 21st.
What part of Idaho?
Wow.
I think it's in Boise.
Is
Boise.
it? Oh. All right, we'll have to meet up. I'm gonna have to come see your show. Star. We're gonna go see a show.
Yeah.
I am trying to book flights right now, and I don't even know how to get to Idaho. I mean, can you even get there? How do you?
Yeah,
by wagon, sir.
Where are you flying from, Beau? Where are you located?
I'd fly out of JFK.
Oh yeah,
Or,
you can get there.
Get yourself
get
a
anywhere
horse and a
from
wagon.
JFK.
Yeah, but it's no direct flights. It's like
No, you got
go.
like 9 different transfers, and you'll actually make it 3 days later.
Yeah. It looks like a nightmare of a trip, and I don't know. I hope that people in Idaho are cool though, and hopefully
We are.
You know,
No.
there's a little town in Idaho called Driggs, Idaho.
Yes.
Yes.
Have you been to Driggs,
you think
Idaho?
I have some relatives there?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. So, Beau, first of all, you're a stand-up comic, but you also currently have just launched a brand new podcast called Losers with a Dream.
Yes.
And you got Lisa Lampanelli on your show.
Yeah, I witnessed. Sure.
All right, sorry. I had to give you one, Beau.
No, I appreciate that. I witnessed Lisa Lampanelli commit a murder about 2 years ago, and I've been blackmailing her into letting me do a podcast with her. So that's
Nice.
worked out. Yeah, she just killed the Subway sandwich artist. They didn't put double meat in, and I was there, so now I have a show with her. No, it's great. I mean, she's wild. She's obviously killer comic from all those roasts. So it is wild because it's me and my buddy Nick, and we're comics that like started together, and we do a lot of comedy on the show, but we also just talk about our feelings and just like how we're doing and all that. And she comes on and just rips us apart, and it's a lot of fun. So it's been
how many dates were you doing before COVID hit? How often were you working?
I mean, almost every night of the week I was doing stand up between Connecticut and New York and New Jersey. So I was pretty busy. The night that I got like, the shutdown or whatever, I was at Gotham Comedy Club. I was doing a spot, and I remember thinking like, oh man, this might be my last set. Like this might be the last set I get for a long time.
Wow.
And because I was like reading the news on my phone before I was about to go up.
Yeah.
And then I go up and I'm doing my set, and this lady in the front row, her phone rang 4 times during my set. And I was like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like I lost it on her. I was like, this could be the end. This could be the end. And then I was driving out of New York that night, and I was like, I think it's over. And next thing you know, that was it. That was the last set I did for like 6 months.
Yeah,
So.
that's got to be scary, even to know that it's coming and do the set and be up there knowing this is your last set. And again, you wanted to kill it. You wanted to, kill and be the perfect set. If I don't do this for a year, I went out with a bang, and then some woman's phone, I would have done the same thing. So
I was like, God damn it. Like, why are you doing this to me? But it was a heavy depression for those first like 3 months where I'm like, I don't know. Because you don't want stand-up to be like a huge part of your mental health. Like that's not the goal going in, but it eventually becomes that, especially when you're doing it as much as you need to do it to become good at it. So, you start to like, when it's taken away, you're like, oh man, I am really a shell of a person now. And I have to like kind of rebuild and like get, self-worth other places. So
have you been back in New York doing any clubs since things have kind of slowly started to reopen?
Yeah, the clubs are reopening. I actually am going to be working Greenwich Village Comedy Club this upcoming weekend, so that'll be fun. And the shows that I've done in the city so far are great. I mean, people are like,
they're dying for it.
Yeah, they're so excited. And so the clubs are full because I think people just need to get out. Yeah. And then it's filled with people who really want to be there, which, wasn't always the case pre-COVID. You know what I mean? So it's a nice thing.
Now, you have you were at the Gotham Comedy Club back in 2019. I do have a video queued up of here. I know it's 6 minutes. We're not going to run the whole 6 minutes of it, but this definitely, you had a good crowd at this show, didn't you?
It was a good crowd. I am nervous for you to play this because I sent it to you, but I was like, I don't know. I don't even know. I think it's a good tape. So let's just roll it. I'm pretty sure, it'll be fun.
We'll critique it afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll talk.
There we go.
All right, here we go, guys.
My phone's ringing. Hang on.
All right, Beau McDowell live at Gotham Comedy Club.
If it bombs, I might not be here when you come back. So just
no, you're staying.
Here we go.
Hey, what's going on? So I recently found out I have sleep apnea, also known as fat guy can't breathe syndrome. Like, how out of shape do you have to be where laying down is too strenuous? Just waking up like, dude, I'm 26. Give me a break. I get a lot of terms of endearment I don't like. I'm a big guy. Girls always be like, oh my God, you're such a gentle giant, right? Like, just say fat pussy, right? Like, that's what you mean. That's what you mean. I have a gay friend who doesn't like to suck dick. Yeah. I asked him, I was like, why don't you like it? He's like, it's gross. I was like, I know that. But you signed up. Like, you're there. That'd be like if I went in the army and then when I got there, I was like, the guns are too loud, and I threw them on the ground. Like, take some responsibility. And I know, like he wasn't, like it wasn't a choice, like he was born that way. But I was born straight, and I eat pussy. Yeah, mostly because I need to buy time because I can't get hard. But I'm doing it, and that's what matters. Oh God. So I don't read. I don't know. I don't watch the news. The other day I was listening to R. Kelly in my car. Yeah, and I was really enjoying it, but the underage girls locked in my trunk were very offended. Yeah. No, it was too soon for them too. So I recently broke up with my girlfriend, everybody. Yeah, she's in a better place. Yeah. Well, parts of her head's still in my freezer, but you stuck through the 2 domestic violence jokes. That's great. That's good. I appreciate that. No, but me and my ex, we used to fight all the time in the parking lot of my apartment. And one day, I'm walking into the building, and I see this woman, and she's very excited to talk to me. And as soon as I get within earshot, I hear her go, "Why the fuck you got me up all hours of the night talking to your girlfriend, breaking up and shit?" And I got like really scared, and then I got like a little hard, you know? You ever find something new about yourself sexually, and you're like, oh, I gotta suppress that too? Like, come on. I do so much work. My ex, she asked me to get my back waxed, and I did it because I don't know how to say no. I'm laying on the table, and she's pouring the wax on me, and as soon as she goes, she does the first grip. I was like, ooh, I like that. Yeah, that's me. I'm a masochist. I learned that day. She called me, she was like, how did it go? I was like, good, I have a new service I'll be requesting on Craigslist. It's exciting. But now, okay, so I moved. So I used to be on the street view, now in the parking lot view. Not as great, but I can hear relationships happening underneath me all the time, right? It keeps me up at night. So to pay homage to this woman, I will walk out to my balcony, I'll look down and go, why the fuck you got me up all hours of the night talking to your girlfriend, breaking up and shit? And the reaction is always great, because they look up like, is that a white guy? Like, what's going on? What the fuck is going on? I was raised Catholic, yeah, which means I'm no longer Catholic. That's kind of how that goes. I just never really got into the whole confession thing. You know, I never really said you just go in, you tell that guy, and it's over, if you're good. You walk into any Catholic church, you're like, Father, last night I killed 2 people. Well, there was a witness, so 3 people, right? The guy's not even listening to you. He's just doing math in his head, like, all right, 100 Hail Marys, 100 Our Fathers, 200 Hail Marys, 200 Our Fathers. That last one's a cover-up. We get that. 250, 250. Father Demonico's got a lot to do today. Put some money in the basket. Get the fuck out of my store.
Wow.
He doesn't care. Doesn't care.
Oh my God.
That's fantastic, Beau.
That was awesome.
That was fantastic. I love comedy, and the one question I have immediately after I see that is, are you worried about cancel culture ruining comedy?
No.
Okay,
not
good.
At all.
Good, yeah, absolutely.
I think that right now with the internet and stuff like this, it's like you can get your name out there, and even guys who have gotten canceled in the last 6 months, unless they were, Hollywood connected, they're making it back. They're still selling out clubs. I think honestly, it's an overcorrection for what probably was going on in Hollywood. I mean, I
think people want a comic relief right now. They're over it, okay, and they're just like, let's make fun of it.
Wait. But the people that are going to comedy clubs to see people like Beau are not the people that want comedy and vocabulary to be canceled. That's
very
the problem. True. It's people that have no interest in ever seeing Beau perform or hearing what he says. What'll happen is somebody will hear a joke like he made in this set, and then it'll just start bouncing. That set was fantastic. That set had all of us laughing, and I'm a big fat guy. I'm not offended by any of it. And that's what I worry about, because I see that set and I go, that's comedy. That's what it should be. That was funny. That was awesome. So keep on rocking doing that,
and I'm going to come see you in Boise.
It's so terrible because, you know, I just, from my point of view and being my background in the entertainment business, is just having all that being shut down now with all the different movements and everything going on. And that is the whole point of stand-up comedy, is to be able to just be outrageous and say whatever you want. What do you do to prepare for a set? Do you have a routine, or how do you prepare before you go live?
Well, I used to do a lot more. Like, I used to like write and like really be like almost to the word on stuff when I was starting out, when I was younger. Even like during that set, I think I was a little bit more like just trying to get the right wording down and all that. And now I'm, you know, I like to go on stage with like a few ideas of what I want to talk about, and then I let it rip for, you know, longer sets. So I think your writing style and also your preparation changes as you get more and more comfort on stage, and also just comfort in yourself being funny. So, you know, I don't know. I think in the beginning, if you're like a new comic, write your stuff out, you know, make sure you go there prepared, ready to go. And then once you've earned your chops and you like know you're funny, go up there and stretch out, you know, let yourself kind of do whatever it is you want to do. And
have you ever froze on stage and just realized you messed yourself up?
I hate when people ask that question, Roger.
No, but it's true.
It's just like you're almost jinxing him. It's like, don't.
I was doing a set one time, and I got through. I was like a 10-minute spot, and I was really early in comedy. And I was like 6 minutes in, and then I was like, oh, I think I was like, oh shit, I don't think I have any more material. Like, I was like, I completely ran out of stuff, and I had the material, but I completely.
Well, that's
what did you do?
Yeah,
I just started talking about my day, and I actually got way bigger laughs on the last 4 minutes, just like
nice,
riffing.
Right on.
Yeah. So like,
what's the best time? What's the best bomb you've had?
Oh my God. One time, I broke up with my girlfriend, right? And I was doing this show at this brewery, which is always a hell gig, like always, because the people are just drunk. They don't care. And it's kind of a nightmare. And I go in the show, and she's sitting in the front row, and she was just crazy. And all of my material was about her at that time.
Oh no. Oh
God. Yeah. God. So, And I'm still heartbroken. Like, I'm like really bummed that we had to break it off and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm living this nightmare now. And she's in the front row, and she's trying to like stick it to me or whatever.
Oh man.
And I'm like, shit. And so I go up, and I'm like, all right, just don't do your material, but like, you can figure this out. Like, you're a comic.
No.
And I opened with, I mean, I think I opened talking about, like, I was like, do women really scissor or something? I was like, is that a thing? and which isn't my material. I'm not that like gross. I don't really talk about that stuff. And people like could not have tuned out harder. And then this one woman started yelling at me, and then I got into it with her, and I was just like, oh my God. And yeah, it was all because. And I got up, and I was like, I don't know why I bombed. My buddy was like, dude, she's in the front row. That's why you bombed. Like, why are you, you know, but yeah, that was
my favorite thing is listening to comedians talk about when they bomb, because they're first of all, they're their own worst critic. And, but what you were talking about, the brewery and the people being drunk. One of my favorite comedian moments, I'm sure you are aware of it, is the Bill Burr, Pittsburgh thing or Pennsylvania thing when Opie and Anthony were doing their comedian tour, and he got on stage and nobody wanted to listen to him. And he just went on that 6-minute rant about why Philadelphia sucks. Yeah. And he turned him around. I mean, it's just working drunk crowds is got to be the worst thing to do. So, like, why would you put a comedy club and have comedians doing sets in bars, like, where there's a lot of booze? It just, to me, it's never made sense.
Well, it's the least respected art form that there is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no security at a lot of these places.
Yeah.
Like, the security is like an older Jewish man wearing like a stupid hat, being like, oh, I don't know why. You know what I mean? And you're like, okay, so if anything happens, like, I'm really in trouble. And, you know, and then the crowds, they get wild. Although the Bill Burr thing, he was given a kind of a nice deck. I feel bad for the guys that were going up there thinking it was going to be a good show.
Yeah.
And then
do you remember who was on right before him? Because whoever was on before him ate it. I forgot who it was, but whoever it was just completely ate it, and that's why he came out and he's like, I'm not dealing with this shit. And he started his material, and one line into it, he looked at the crowd and he's like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna go just off on Philadelphia, and it was fantastic.
It was so. Well, I mean, last week I was doing a show with Giannis Pappas. Okay, and I mean, he's incredible. Check him out. But the crowd was just unruly from the get-go, and I kind of saw it, but I'm still newer, so I go up, I'm doing my material, but I start doing a lot of crowd work, and then Giannis goes up, does no material, all crowd work, and crushes for an hour, and he gets off and he's like, yeah, it's a tough crowd, but just don't do material for those crowds. So there's some crowds where it's like, if they're tough, just don't bother trying to, you just have to go in there and go at them immediately.
Well, you're talking to the bottle at that point. It's like,
yeah. They have no interest in you. They don't care about, your joke that you worked on. They want to be talked to. They want, they want kind of gross jokes. They want to be yelled at basically. So
who's your favorite comedian?
Favorite comic right now is probably I guess probably Burr. I mean, he's just the funniest guy ever, really. And then all-time favorite would be Doug Stanhope. I mean, and then Patrice is right there.
Oh my God, I cried. I cried the day the day it happened. I didn't even know because O&A had split up, I believe, at that time, right? Were they split up? I think they were split up. And I didn't even know. I didn't know Patrice had a stroke, and I didn't know he was sick. And all of a sudden, I read it, and I went, "Oh no!" And then when he passed, I'm right there with you. Patrice was such a funny comedian who when he tried, he was not a good comedian. When he didn't try, he was fantastic. I mean, Patrice. I could listen to Patrice talk about. Patrice had his knowledge of race, marriage, all of that. It was so dead on with everything. And he was just such a fantastic comedian. And I'm right there with you.
No, the other one I like is Ralphie May.
Yeah, he's gone too. Yeah, that's another one.
When I was in Vegas, he was doing his show at Harrah's right before it all happened. So he was actually in the middle of doing his set of shows and so forth. So they had to stop production and everything. But it was just it was crazy. But
I love Stanhope too. I worry about Stanhope. I love Stanhope, but I don't know. I've heard Stanhope many times be very funny, and then I've heard Stanhope sometimes you're like, oh, I worry for this guy. Like, but that's his life. That's what he lives. I mean, that's what he wants. So
yeah, he's a tragic figure for sure. One thing about Patrice that's now hilarious to me is Lampanelli and Patrice hated each other. Like
really
full on hated. Yeah. So it's funny because I'll be sitting with Lisa and I'll be like, yeah, that Patrice joke or something. And she's just like, ugh, I hate him. And she'll go in on him about him for probably 10, 15 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, he's my hero still. I don't care. I don't care that you guys argued at the Comedy Cellar every night. Like, but yeah, she hated him, but she respected Patrice because he was the truth. He always every night he got up, he was there to give people the truth. Whether or not they liked it was not his problem. And that's kind of cool, But
yeah, it's amazing that most comedians right now will say Bill Burr, Patrice O'Neal, especially Patrice. I mean, most people just loved Patrice. And Patrice had what pisses me off about Patrice was he was just at that cusp. Elephant in the Room was a fantastic special. And he was just there of being like, I think he finally got out of his own way. And he finally just said, you know what? I'm going to do the comedy and I'm going to stop arguing with everybody and stop arguing with people doing Web Junk 20. And, he got out of his way and then he dies. And I'm just like, God damn it. Really? Like,
he was pretty much about to be handed the keys to the kingdom. I mean,
yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah.
He was.
And it's like, it's brutal, man. And that hour, Elephant in the Room, is the best hour of stand-up I think ever made.
I do too. I agree. It's fantastic.
Yeah, but it's brutal, man. It's tough when guys like that drop.
Did you get a chance to meet him?
No, I never met Patrice.
Okay.
I'm too young. I'm 28 years old. So
Have you ever met? Did you ever meet Julie McCullough?
I didn't know. I don't know her.
Okay, she's a former Playmate who's now a stand-up comedian.
Oh, okay.
She's the funny bunny.
Okay, it sounds familiar.
Oh, I like
now.
that.
I like the funny bunny.
Now.
I like the name. Hello, funny bunny.
There is.
She tours, so
Yeah, there is a crossover between former porn stars and like Playboy like Playmates that are now getting into stand-up.
The comedy scene.
Yeah, which is interesting.
We're funny.
You gotta be.
Tops off.
How long have you been doing this, Beau?
6 years.
Okay.
So I was 22 when I started.
Wow.
Like Ron Jeremy. I'm sorry, going back to what you were talking about. Ron Jeremy's doing the same thing. He is switching over to be comedy.
Yeah, I did not know that. That is that is horrifying.
Big dick jokes for 60 minutes.
yeah, that is wow. I mean, the material is going to write itself. He's just got to be able to stay,
of course,
on par.
Did you, when you first started out, did you ever think of quitting?
No,
Good. Thank God. Yeah.
I didn't want to be the guy that's like that needs other people to like constantly like hype them up for his own dream. You know what I mean? I was just like, no, this is what I want to do. I didn't expect to make any money. I was just like, this is what I'm going to do. And then eventually it started to work. People always ask me like, how do you get started? It's just like, just do it. You just got to go do it. I think it's like that with anything though. Like you don't believe that something is like available to you or that you can do it until you just start, and I think that's the hardest thing. So
yeah, I mean, it was the same. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. What upcoming shows do you have coming up here in the near future?
So this Saturday, I'm going to be at Greenwich Village Comedy Club for not Saturday. Friday, May 14th, and then Friday and Saturday, May 20th and 21st, I'm going to be in Boise, Idaho for the Idaho Comedy Festival.
Perfect.
Hilarious that I booked this.
That is hilarious. It's just
perfect.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you?
Yeah.
think?
The universe knows.
You have any plans to come to the Chicago, Illinois area?
I would love to. I'd love to get out to Zany's. I don't have anything planned right now. So
yeah,
Zany's Comedy Club is a very funny club.
Yeah, we had one. Yeah. We had one in St. Charles. They closed. It's gone. So now you only have the one in the city.
Is Second City still there?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe Second City's still here. There's also the Improv over in Schaumburg. They're still open. I believe they're still open. But yeah, we used to have a Zany's literally 10 minutes from the house. I could drive there, and they just tore it down because they tore the whole facility down. And yeah, like if you were going there, like I'm gonna come walk and get drunk and have my phone ring the whole time. But, listen, yeah, if you're in Chicago, I'm there because I love comedy and as you said, I mean, I would go because I want to be there and love going. I miss going to shows.
Yeah,
it just sucks.
I'm ready for shows to come back.
Yeah, I am
whether
too.
it's comedy or music or whatever the case may be. I'm ready for live entertainment again.
Yeah, most people are, and people aren't as uptight as we make them out to be. I think it's weird how I think everyone's like, oh, you couldn't say that in a club or you couldn't do that. But the stuff I've seen happen in clubs, I'm like, these people don't. I mean, most people are pretty cool. They get it. They're there to have fun.
Yeah,
and
like I said, the people that want comedians canceled for jokes they make are not the people that want to go to a comedy club and listen to a comedian. They're just the people that want to be on their soapbox and now let's start a internet thing and get somebody canceled. And it's like, come on.
Yeah,
I find it funny. This is like been rolling through my head lately. Is I find it funny that it's 2021. Technology has allowed millions of people, whoever you want to be, like us, to be on a platform and say what we want. And millions of people now can spew whatever they want out of their mouths. And everybody wants to cancel everybody. It's like, what? Really? The technology is here.
So
this is
unreal.
the reason it's here for us to talk and to say, hey, I don't like this person. I don't like that. I don't like this. Oh, no. Let's get them done. We can't say. Then why is this here? I mean, come on.
Yeah. The reality is you just don't have to listen to everybody.
Right.
Just because you don't like it, you don't. It doesn't mean
Change
that
the channel.
Yeah.
Right. Right. That's what happened to that
That's simple.
saying? Deborah's exactly right. What happened if you don't like something, just shut it off.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a switch. There's a button. You know.
And I can see if you do something in a sexual way where okay, fine, it's a crime or you know what I mean? But words. It's a joke. And actually apologize for a joke that you may come on. It's a joke. You're a comedian. It's a joke.
Yeah, and that's the job. So it's like
yes,
it gets a little crazy.
Could you imagine if comedy was all nice?
Yeah, well,
nobody would fucking laugh.
There'd be no show.
Right.
Yeah, that's what SNL is trying right now, and it's not really working out.
It's not. Oh, it's no. It's so
it hasn't
over.
been funny. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know why.
It hasn't been funny for a very long time. It's so.
Yeah.
I mean, just the movie that Kristen Wiig or the last movie that she just put out. It was like,
Wonder
oh
Woman?
my god, it was really hard to watch.
Yeah.
Margins. There was the two women.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I can't even tell you the name of it because I turned it off. It was so bad.
I thought you were talking about Wonder Woman 84 because that was hard to watch too.
Yeah, well, like these overly woke TV shows and movies, it's like I get it, but I don't. It's not funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
And that's what your job is to be funny. So like, I mean, SNL has.
We're supposed to make fun of these things that are serious. Like we're
Right.
supposed to make fun of it,
Yeah.
and so we all go, okay, let's not.
Because we need that comic relief in our life right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
especially now more than
Yeah.
ever.
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody should be taking anything too seriously.
Yeah, your set that Roger played was fantastic. I love that you went there on every subject and you were dead on point and it was just funny. I mean,
yeah, it was.
It was funny.
I was sitting here
I
laughing
wish
in the
you'd come
background.
to Chicago area so I can see your stand up.
Absolutely.
Well, he's coming to Boise, and then let's see, Jimmy, why don't you fly to Boise for the weekend?
No.
Deborah. All right, you never know.
All right, if Deborah goes, I'm going.
All right, there you go.
I think we need to. I think this has to be a team effort now.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. All right, let's start booking flights now. Get the Expedia account open.
I'd like to go to Boise.
What is there to do? What is there to do in Boise? I need.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
We got
it
corn.
is like there's so much to do, and it's and like
how far are you from Sun Valley?
Me?
How far is How far is Boise, Idaho from Sun Valley?
What is it? 2 hours, something like that.
Like 2 or 3 hours.
The Sun Valley's beautiful. What about? Isn't there like a beautiful lake, Coeur d'Alene or something?
Coeur d'Alene's up in northern Idaho.
Coeur d'Alene's like 12 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
There's some bucket list items there. I don't know
Listen.
if Boise's on there, but I could
Look,
go.
I would go. I mean, I would go. I would love to see. I mean,
We got
I
the
admire-
rivers. We got the mountains. You can go skiing.
Yeah.
I admire people that travel to the 50 states. I love it. I mean,
Yep.
I would love to be one of those people. I just
And we
don't have
got the
time.
blue turf football field.
Hey, guess what, you guys?
That's what your state is like nothing. You guys, we got a blue turf. It's blue.
We're the Smurf turf.
We changed the color of the grass.
I'm out dancing this week. I'll have you know.
Come to Boise. We got blue turf. You're gonna like it here.
Boise State football.
We got boots and.
Oh, I'm not ripping. I'm really again Boise because Beau, you have to say it right. It's not Boise. It's Boise.
It's Boise.
We've learned that Boise.
Okay.
No, I'm not ripping Boise. I mean, look, every town is different. Trust me. I've worked when I was doing radio. I lived in Amarillo, Texas, for months. I mean, it was. Yeah. I mean, especially when you come from Chicago to Amarillo, Texas, is like night and day. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I think the biggest building.
That's a little bit of a change.
Oh yeah, I was 20.
Amarillo.
Yeah, I was 21, and I believe the biggest building in Amarillo at that time was like 18 floors.
Oh my
I'm just like, okay, I'm from Chicago. We got big buildings here.
I love Chicago.
Yeah. Chicago's, I mean, Chicago's
city.
not what it was. Chicago's having problems right now, and it's sad. Chicago's a beautiful city. I can tell you this much of the state of Illinois. I'd get the hell out of here as quickly as possible if I could.
Mhm.
But
That's why I'm not going back to Illinois.
yeah.
I mean, I love the city, but I don't want to live there anymore.
That's kind of how I feel about LA right
Yeah.
now. In California.
I feel like people are just done with cities in general. I think living that close in proximity to people, it's not really worth it. So
the problem with California, though, they want to tax me if I leave.
Yeah,
oh, really?
Really?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've got some crazy laws going here. Crazy tax laws. You get fined, you get taxed if you leave.
Wow.
What? Yeah.
Crazy. It's just nuts.
That's another episode.
Well,
That's another episode. We'll get Caitlyn Jenner on here.
Yeah.
There you go. Bo, you know,
hold on.
Okay, go ahead and finish it.
That is an interesting. I love that she is running for governor. I find it a very interesting story. Not on any political beliefs. I'm not going on a political rant. I just find it funny how they're attacking her now. And a year ago, 2 years ago, she was the end all to everybody loved her. But now because she's going to run for governor and she's showing Republican side views, it's fair to attack her. And I'm just like, so there is a line. There's a line. And if she doesn't agree with you, then she's evil. Okay.
Well, listen, she in the past life, Bruce and my ex were on the Ronald Reagan, the sports council. So they were. So I know that Bruce's beliefs are very Republican.
Yeah.
And as my ex, and so so I just saw her interview on Fox, and I was like, hey, anything to make California better right now. Anything.
Yeah. And I'll attest as somebody who leans that way, not totally, but somebody who leans more towards that way. I love her.
Yeah.
I think she's great. I think she's fantastic.
It is so weird to refer to Bruce as her. I'm still adjusting to that.
But see, as somebody who leans that way, I have no problems with what Bruce wanted to do. God bless him. Let him live his best fucking life.
Totally. Life is too short.
Right.
Life's too short. You want to be a transgender, you want to be whatever.
Right.
You want to chop it off.
Too short.
Live your life. Live your dream.
Yeah. Let everybody be happy.
OLO. Right? YOLO, we only live once.
Yeah.
There you go.
And we do, and everybody should be happy, and everybody
one shot to do this however we want to do it. And I say amen. Do it however you want to do it.
God bless you. I'm the same way. Trust me, and I become more that same way lately, where I'm just like, you could be snuffed out like that. I'll tell you, my mom retired, and she worked till she was 75 years old.
Wow.
Retired, and a week later after she retired, she found out she has cancer.
Wow.
Your whole life you work,
Unreal.
and you plan on retiring and enjoying your life, you have cancer. And now her retirement is totally in disarray. And it's like, live your life, do what you want to do. That's why Beau's story is awesome. Wendy's story was awesome. Do what you want to do that makes you happy. Roger's story is awesome. Star's story is awesome. We're all doing this podcast. We don't get paid for it. We're doing it because it makes us happy. And
we have fun doing it.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's what's in our blood and what we enjoy doing.
Yep. Live your life.
And it also is a great way, a reminder that how we get paid. How do we get paid? By being of service.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't always have to have a dollar sign.
No, not at all. Yeah,
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
The secret to living is giving.
That's right. Beau, thank you for being on the show with us. It's been a gem. Definitely looking forward to seeing you in Boise. I will come to your show when you get here.
Cool, man. Yeah, and check out Losers with a Dream on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify, and we'll see you guys
I'll post
soon.
your link on our info page so people can be able to follow you. Okay, and make sure you guys subscribe to his page.
Yeah, I'm going to subscribe. I love podcasts, especially when they're hosted by comedians. So
yes,
cool, man.
I'm in. I'll be subscribing right after we hit end on this call.
There you go.
Awesome.
Thanks, you, Beau.
Guys.
Beau, thanks so much. Nice meeting you. Come to Chicago, man. Come to Chicago.
I will.
All right, we'll see you in Boise here shortly.
Yep.
Wow.
All righty.
His set. I can't say it enough. That was so funny.
It was.
I was kind of hoping you played the whole 6 minutes.
Thing. It's the hard, in the entertainment business, stand-up comedy is the hardest.
And what's funny is he hit it right on the head. He said it's the most, what did he say? What was his words? He said underrated profession or whatever it is. I mean, and it shouldn't be, because one, there's so many things in comedy you have to do. One, you have to write and come up with the jokes. Two, you have to have that stage presence, which he clearly has. Mm-hmm. Nothing looked like it was going to face him. And then three, you're making fun of stuff. To his point, there's no security. You're making this fun of stuff or people that in the audience might get pissed and come up and rush you because they're pissed for some reason.
Right.
I have nothing but love for comedians. I admire their profession. I think I'm funny. I would never want to be a stand-up comedian because I couldn't take it. I would freeze. Yeah, I would freeze if I bombed. I would go back and cry and why do people hate? I just couldn't do it. So
I'd be the guy on stage, or I'd be throwing the lettuce at,
Yeah. Back in the day, get off the stage. So yeah, he was awesome. I hope he comes to Chicago because I would definitely go see him. Yep.
Deborah, I am so glad to have you on the show as a co-host now.
Thank
and when
you.
I cut out in the beginning, I thought that
I was bewitched. I
thought
bewitched.
the powers of thee made you the Deborah the Wild Child show, and I was cut.
I said that. I said, you see, the universe is speaking right now.
Yeah, that was awesome. Hey, Star, Deborah, we don't need him. We did good those 5 minutes.
We did so well. I was like, okay, guys, we're on.
The new Roger the Wild Child show, only in name.
Hey, I got canceled. What can I say?
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Yeah, the guests tonight were awesome. Wendy, just fantastic person.
Amazing.
I want to see more of her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just blown away by the guests you've been getting lately. They're just amazing, and now they're all going to be co-hosts every single week. So
exactly. And next thing you know, I am going to get replaced. So you never know.
There you go.
That's what happens.
It does. But I do want to thank you guys all for joining us today. Deborah, thanks for joining the cast. Also, Jimmy Knight, as always, Star.
ChicagosVarietyStation.com, ChicagosVarietyStation.com. Roger hosts 8 to midnight every single Monday through Friday. An awesome host. I'm on from 3 to 8. We play the best variety of the 80s, 90s, 2K, and today.
And Saturday nights, we have Dance Jam now.
Yeah, the new Saturday Night Dance Jam. Dance hits like Studio 54, baby!
Right on!
So, check it out.
Alrighty, and then Hollywood had this week off, but she'll be back next week to join us. So, until next time, everyone, we want to thank you all for checking out the show.
Roger. There we go.
There we go. I was like wondering where the music
I was
is.
hitting it. I'm banging it going on.
Yeah.
Damn it, Jimmy. All right, guys, we'll see you next Sunday night. Check us out on the podcast, 18 different platforms, including Apple and Google and iHeartRadio. We'll see you guys. Roger the Wild Child, over and out.
Roger the Wild Child Show!
Have a good night, guys. See ya.